Good morning, Judith here, and welcome back to Withrow Urban Homestead. Deep cold weather's coming tonight, so it's time to protect the lettuce. First, let's feed the squirrels and the birds. The birds are definitely waiting for breakfast. Now, did you see the lettuce near the turkey flag? First, we need to empty out our compost. Then we're going to come back and pull up these stakes. The birds know the cold's coming. I hate to bother them. So this one volunteered 2 months ago. We're just going to leave it. It's too far from the rest to cover this far. Now these cages protect the plants from me, from accidentally stepping on them. But the tunnel will tear if I leave them. So let's go ahead and collect those. I'll hang them up later. Now, why did I pick this design? Because when we moved here almost 20 years ago, the woman who loved to garden in this yard left many of those. But they were made out of thicker metal. These are some newer ones that I made. I think she used them to help slow down the rabbits. We used to have so many rabbits in this neighborhood. It was still being developed, and a lot of these homes around us had a lot of junk for the rabbits to hide in. But now the rabbit population really decreased. I wish the rabbits would come back. Okay, let's set up the hoops. I'm just going to set up a low tunnel. I don't need the high hoops. Now that area are the carrots to be protected from the cold, to save them for seed in the spring. So we're going to stretch that all the way down here. But I haven't pruned the blackberries, and some of the vines are in the way, so we need to tie those up. All of these along here. So I might not need all of these, but I decide that later. Some of these I will root up for the community, but some have already actually rooted themselves. Where the tip touches the soil, it'll send down roots. So I'm going to pot up those 2 canes. I'll include that in a video specifically on blackberries. Well, I actually looked and it's just those 2, so I'm going to go ahead and include that in this video. Let's go get some pots and some soil. Soil's way over there. I'll protect them from the squirrels before I go in the house. It'll be okay for now. Also, that soil needs time to absorb the water, so I'll make sure and dump out that extra too, because I don't want it to freeze. Let's get the rest of these canes tied up. That's good for now. It's just temporary. Later I'll come back and prune them, because if the weather's freezing, this is a job I can work on. But today I've got to get this lettuce protected. I tend to set my hoops up 2 feet apart, and today I'm just going to eyeball it. Perfect. But first, we got to get this flag moved. So this lettuce is 2 months old and it's not really growing anymore. We harvest the outer leaves and leave the middle. Looks like slug damage. So let's take a break and go get the organic slug bait. Now let's see if this is long enough. There's excess on the other side of the carrots, but we'll see if we need to adjust it. Not quite. lettuce will do fine 25 degrees Fahrenheit and above, but below that, it can get damaged. And nights are going to be in the 20s, but just 3 weeks ago, it was in the 80s. So we've had some crazy weather. Now let's secure the sides. They're all waiting for me to leave. Poor things. The lettuce is all protected for the winter, for the cold weather that's coming. Now let's chop up all these berry vines and put them in the compost. This is new compost. I started this for the fall, and it's the old plants from the summer vegetables. Things that, I've recently pulled up. I'll leave it here for a year to break down. Now, I left the tripod in the house, so let's try to chop this up with just one hand. That dove was born here. That's its area. It tends to stay there. It's looking at me. Sorry, I've got to walk that way. Now it's time to start some lettuce seeds inside in the basement. Last winter, I grew indoor lettuce and it was a huge success. So I'm going to do that again. And I'll take care of those berries before I go in the house. Thank you for visiting Withrow Urban Homestead. See you later. Bye-bye.